trade art thou?
A trade, sir, that I hope I may use with a safe conscience. Which is indeed, sir, a matter of bad souls!
What trade, thou knave, thou naughty knave? What
Nay,
trade?
Nay, I beseech you, sir, be not out with me, yet if you be out, sir, I can mend you.
What meanest thou by that? Mend me, thou saucy wench?
Why, sir, cobble you!
Thou art a cobbler, art thou?
I am indeed, sir, a surgeon to old shoes. When they are in great danger, I recover them. As proper men as ever trod upon leather have gone upon my handiwork.
But wherefore are not in thy shop today? Why dost thou lead all these about the streets?
Truly, sir, to wear out their shoes to get myself into more work. But indeed, sir, we make holiday to see Caesar and to rejoice in his triumph!
Therefore rejoice! What conquests bring he home? What tributaries follow him to Rome? You blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless things. Knew you not Pompey many a time and oft? And when you saw his chariot but appear, have you not made an universal shout? And do you now call out a holiday, and do you now strew flowers in his way that come in triumph over Pompey's blood? Be gone! Go you down that way towards the Capitol, this way must I. Disrobe all the statues if you do find them decked with ceremonies.
May I do so? You know this is the Feast of Lupercal.
It is no matter, let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. These growing feathers, plucked from Caesar's wing, will make him fly in ordinary pitch. Who else would soar above the view of men and leave us all in servile fearfulness?
Calpurnia!
Peace! Ho! Caesar speaks!
Calpurnia, stand you directly in Antonio's way when he doth run his course. Antonio,
Caesar, my lord!
forget not in your speed, Antonio, to touch Calpurnia. For our elders say the barren touch it in this holy chase, shake off their sterile curse.
I shall remember. When Caesar says do this, it is performed!
Caesar! Huh? Who calls?
Bid every noise be still! Peace yet again!
Who is it in the press that calls on me? Beware the Ides of March! What man is that?
A soothsayer bids you beware the Ides of March.
Set him before me. Let me see his face.
Fellow, come from the throng. Look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to me now? Speak once again. Beware the Ides of March! He is a dreamer. Let us leave him. Pass!
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you do.
I am not gamesome. I do lack some part of that quick spirit that is an Antony. Let me not hinder, Cassius, your desires. I'll leave you.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend that loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I veiled my look, I turned the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late with passions of some difference, conceptions only proper to myself, which give some soil perhaps to my behaviors. But let not therefore my good friends be grieved, among which number, Cassius, be you one, nor construe any further my neglect than that poor Brutus, with himself at war, forgets the shows of love to other men.
Then, Brutus, I have much mistook your passion, by means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value, worthy cogitations. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection, by some other things.
It is just. And it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye, that you might see your shadow. I have heard where many of the best respect in Rome, except immortal Caesar, speaking of Brutus and groaning underneath this age's yoke, have wished that noble Brutus had his eyes.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that you would have me seek in myself for that which is not in me?
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear. And since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet know not of.
What means the shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
Aye, do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so.
I would not, Cassius. Yet I love him well. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it that you would impart to me? If it be aught toward the general good, set honor in one eye and death in the other, and I will look on both indifferently. For let the gods so speed me as I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward favor. Well, honor is the subject of my story. I cannot tell what you and other men think of this life, but for my single self, I'd as lief not be as live to be in awe of such a thing as I myself. I was born free as Caesar, so were you. We both have fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold as well as he. For once, upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber chafing with her shores, Caesar said to me, "Darest thou, Cassius, now leap in with me into this angry flood and swim to yonder point?" Upon the word, accoutred as I was, I plunged in and bade him follow, so indeed he did. The torrent roared, and we did buffet it, yet ere we could arrive the point proposed, Caesar cried, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink." I, as Aeneas, our great ancestor, did from the flames of Troy upon his shoulder the old Anchises bear, so from the waves of Tiber did I, the tired Caesar. And this man is now become a god, and Cassius is a wretched creature, and must bend his body if Caesar carelessly but not on him. He had a fever when he was in Spain, and when the fit was on him, I did mark how he did shake. 'Tis true, this god did shake, and that same eye, whose bend off all the world, did lose his luster. I did hear him groan, aye, and that tongue of his, that bade the Romans mark him and write his speeches in their books, alas, it cried, "Give me some drink, Titinius." As a sick girl, ye gods, it doth amaze me, a man of such a feeble temper should so get the start of the majestic world and bear the palm alone.
Another general shout. I do believe that these applauses are for some new honors that are heaped on Caesar.
Why, man, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus, and we, petty men, walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men at some time are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Write them together, yours is as fair a name. Sound them, it doth become the mouth as well. Now, in the names of all the gods at once, upon what meat doth this our Caesar feed, that he hath grown so great? Age, thou art shamed. When went there by an age, since the great flood, but it was famed with more than with one man? When could they say, till now, that talked of Rome, that her wide walks encompassed but one man? How is it Rome indeed, and Rome enough, when there is in it but one only man?
What you would work me to, I have some aim. How I have thought of this, and of these times I shall recount hereafter. For this present I would not so with love. I might entreat you be any further moved. What you have said, I will consider. What you have to say, I will with patience hear, and find a time both meet to hear and answer such high things. Till then, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than repute himself a son of Rome under these hard conditions as this time is like to lay upon us.
I am glad that my weak words have struck but thus much show of fire from Brutus.
The games are done, and Caesar's returning.
As they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve, and he will, after a sour fashion, tell us what hath preceded worthy note today.
Antonio, Caesar, let me have men about me that are fat, sleek-headed men, and such as sleep o' nights. Yon Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Do not fear him, Caesar. He is not dangerous. He's a noble Roman, and well given.
Would he were fatter, but I fear him not. Yet, if my name were liable to fear, I do not know the man I should avoid so soon as that spare Cassius. He reads much. He is a great observer, and he looks quite through the deeds of men. He loves no plays as thou dost, Antony. He hears no music. Seldom he smiles, and smiles in such a sort as if he mocked himself and scorned his spirit that could be moved to smile at anything. Such men as he be never at heart's ease whilst they behold a greater than themselves, and therefore are they very dangerous. I rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear, for always I am Caesar. Come on my left hand, for this ear is deaf, and tell me truly what thou thinkst of him.
You pulled me by the coat. Would you speak with me?
Aye, Casca. Tell us what hath chanced today that Caesar looks so sad.
Why, you were with him, were you not?
I shall not then ask Casca what hath chanced.
Why, there was a crown offered him. And being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand, thus. And then the people fell shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too.
They shouted thrice. What was the last cry for?
Why, for that too.
Was the crown offered him thrice?
Aye, marry wast. And he put it by thrice, every time gentler than the other. And at every putting by, mine honest neighbors shouted.
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
I could as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. It was mere foolery. I did not mark it. I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown. Yet 'twas not a crown neither, 'twas one of these coronets. And as I told you, he put it by once. But for all that, to my thinking, he would fain have had it. Then he offered it again. He put it by again, but to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers off it. Then he offered it the third time. He put it the third time by, and still as he refused it, the rabblement hooted and clapped their chopped hands and threw up their sweaty nightcaps and uttered such a deal of stinking breath because Caesar refused the crown that it had almost choked Caesar. For he swooned and fell down at it. And for mine own part, I durst not laugh for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
But soft, I pray you. What, did Caesar swoon?
He fell down in the marketplace and foamed at the mouth and was speechless.
'Tis very like he hath the falling sickness.
No, Caesar hath it not. But you and I and honest Casca, we have the falling sickness.
I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down.
What said he when he came unto himself?
Mary, before he fell down, when he perceived the common herd, was glad he refused the crown. He plucked me up his coat and offered them his throat to cut. And I've been a man of any occupation. If I would not have taken him at a word, I might go to hell among the rogues. And so he fell. When he came to himself again, he said if he had done or said anything amiss, he desired their worships to think it was his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood cried, "Alas, good soul," and forgave him with all their hearts. But there's no heed to be taken of them. Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less.
And after that, he came thus sad away.
Aye.
Did Cicero say anything?
Aye, she spoke Greek.
To what effect?
Nay, and to tell you that, I ne'er look you face again. But those that understood her smiled at one another and shook their heads. But for mine own part, it was Greek to me. I could tell you more news too. The tribune Flavius, for tearing down signs praising Caesar, is put to silence. Fare you well. There was more foolery yet, if I could remember it.
Will you sup with me tonight, Casca?
No, I am promised forth.
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
Aye, if I be alive, and your mind hold, and your dinner worth the eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell, both.
For this time I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, come home to me and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Until then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble. Yet I see thy honorable metal may be wrought from that it is disposed. Therefore it is meet that noble minds keep ever with their likes, for who so firm that cannot be seduced? Caesar doth bear me hard, but he loves Brutus. If I were Brutus now and he were Cassius, he should not humor me. I will this night In several hands, in at his window's throw, as if they came from several citizens, writings, all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. And after this, let Caesar seat him sure, or we will shake him, or worse days endure. Who's there?
Roman.
Casca, by your voice.
Oh, your ear is good. What a night is this?
A very pleasing night to honest men.
Whoever knew the heavens menace so?
Those that have known the earth so full of faults. Now, could I, Casca, name to thee a man most like this dreadful night, that thunders, lightens, opens graves, and roars, a man no mightier than thyself or me in personal action, yet prodigious grown and fearful as these strange eruptions are.
'Tis Caesar that you mean, is it not, Cassius?
Let it be who it is, for Romans now have sinews and limbs like to their ancestors. But woe the while our fathers' minds are dead.
Indeed. They say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar as a king.
I know where I will wear this dagger then. Cassius from bondage will deliver Cassius. Life ne'er lacks power to dismiss itself. That part of tyranny that I do bear, I can shake off at pleasure.
So can I. So every bondman in his own hand bears the power to cancel his captivity.
And why should Caesar be a tyrant then? Poor man, I know he would not be a wolf, but that he sees the Romans are but sheep. Those that with haste will make a mighty fire, begin it with weak straws. What trash is Rome? What rubbish and what awful, when it serves for the base matter to illuminate so vile a thing as Caesar. But, oh grief, where hast thou led me? I perhaps speak this before a willing bondman.
You speak to Casca, and to such a man that is no fleering telltale. Hold, my hand. Be factious for redress of all these griefs, and I shall set this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest.
There's a bargain made. Now know you, Casca, I have moved already some certain of the noblest-minded Romans to undergo with me an enterprise of honorable, dangerous consequence.
Oh, Cassius, if you could but win the noble Brutus to our party. Oh, he sits high in the people's hearts, and that which would appear offense in us, his countenance, like richest alchemy, will change to virtue and to worthiness.
Him and his worth, and our great need of him, you have right well conceded. Come, Casca, you and I will yet ere days see Brutus at his house. 3 parts of him is ours already, and the man entire, upon the next encounter, yields him ours.
What Lucius, ho! Lucius, I say! How would it were my fault to sleep so soundly? When Lucius, when? Awake, I say, what Lucius?
Called you, my lord.
Bring me my book for my study, Cato's Letters.
I will, my lord.
It must be by his death. And for my part, I know no personal cause to spurn at him, but for the general. He would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there's the question. It is the bright day that brings forth the adder, and that craves weary walking. Crown him that, and then I grant we put a sting in him, that at his will he may do danger with. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins remorse from power. And to speak truth of Caesar, I have not known when his affection swayed more than his reason. But 'tis a common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder, whereto the climber upward turns his face. But when he once attains the utmost round, he then unto the ladder turns his back, looks in the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend, so Caesar may, then lest he may prevent. And since the quarrel will bear no color for the thing he is, fashion it thus, that what he is, augmented, would run to these and these extremities, and therefore think him as a serpent's egg, which hatched would as his kind grow mischievous, and kill him in the shell.
Fetching the book from your study, sir, I found this paper near the window. I am sure it did not lie there when I went to bed.
Get you to bed again. It is not day. Is not tomorrow, child, the 1st of March?
I know not, sir.
Look in the calendar and bring me word.
I will, sir.
Brutus, thou sleepst. Awake and see thyself. Shall Rome, etc. speak, strike, redress. Brutus, thou sleepst. Awake. Such instigations have been often dropped where I have took them up. Shall Rome, etc. Thus must I piece it out. Shall Rome stand under one man's sway? What, Rome? My ancestors did from the streets of Rome the Tarquin drive when he was called a king. Speak, strike, redress. Am I entreated to speak and strike? O Rome, I make thee promise. If the redress will follow, thou receivest thy full petition at the hand of Brutus.
Sir, March is wasted 15 days.
'Tis good. Go to the gate. Somebody knocks. Since Cassius first did whet me against Caesar, I've not slept. Between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all of the interim is like a phantasma. And the state of a man, like to a little kingdom, suffers then the nature of an insurrection.
Sir, 'tis your brother Cassius at the door.
Is he alone?
No, sir, there are more with him, but their faces are well hidden in their cloaks.
Let him enter. They are the faction. O conspiracy, shamest thou to show thy dangerous brow by night when evils are most free? O then by day, where wilt thou find a cavern dark enough to mask thy monstrous visage? Seek none conspiracy, hide it in smiles and affability.
I think we are too bold upon your rest. Good morrow, Brutus, do we trouble you?
I've been up this hour, awake all night. Know I these Romans that come along with you?
Yes, every one of them, and no one here but honors you. This is Trebonius.
She is welcome hither.
This Decius.
She is welcome too.
This Casca, and this Metellus Cimber.
They are all welcome. What watchful cares do interpose themselves betwixt your eyes and night?
Shall I entreat a word?
Here lies the east. Doth not the day break here?
No.
Pardon, sir, it doth then. Yon grey lines that fret the clouds are messengers of day.
You shall confess you are both deceived. Here, as I point my hand, the sun arises.
Who's a knot?
Let me in, child. Here is a sick man that would speak with you.
What a sinner, how?
Oh, vouchsafe good morrow from a feeble tongue.
Oh, what a time if you chose out, brave sinner, to fall so ill. I would you were not sick.
I am not sick if Brutus have in hand any exploit worthy the name of honor.
Such an exploit have I in hand, good sinner, had you a healthful ear to hear of it.
Oh, by all the gods that Romans bow before, I here discard my sickness. Soul of Rome, thou, like an exorcist, hast conjured up my mortified spirit. Now what's to do?
A piece of work that will make sick men whole.
But are not some whole that we must make sick?
That must we also. Give me your hands all over, one by one.
And let us swear our resolution.
No, not an oath. If not the face of men, the sufferance of our souls, the time's abuse. If these be motives weak, break off betimes, and everyone hence to our idle beds. So let high-sided tyranny rage on till each man drop by lottery. But if these, as I am sure they do, bear fire enough to kindle cowards and to steel our hearts with patriot valor, then, my countrymen, What need we any spur but our own cause to prick us to redress? And what other oath than honesty to honesty engaged that this shall be, or we will fall for it?
But what of Cicero? Shall we sound her? I think she will stand very strong with us.
Oh, let us have her. Her admired wisdom will purchase us a good opinion.
Oh, name her not. Let us not break with her, for she will never follow anything that others do begin.
Then leave her out.
Indeed, she is not fit.
Shall no one else be touched, but only Caesar?
Decius well urged. I think it is not meet. Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. We shall find of him a shrewd contriver, and do know his means, if he improve them, may well stretch so far as to annoy us all, which to prevent, let Antony and Caesar fall together.
Our course will seem too bloody, Caius Cassius, to cut the head off and then hack the limbs, for Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let's be sacrificers, but not butchers, Caius. We all stand up against the spirit of Caesar, and in the spirit of men, there is no blood. Oh, that we then could come by Caesar's spirit and not dismember Caesar. But, alas, Caesar must bleed for it. And gentle friends, let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. Let's carve him as a dish, fit for the gods. Not shoot him as a carcass fit for hounds. This shall make our purpose necessary, and not envious, which so appearing to the common eyes, we shall be called purgers, and not murderers. And for Mark Antony, think not of him, for he could do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off.
Yet I fear him for the engrafted love he bears to Caesar.
Alas, good Cassius, do not think of him. If he loves Caesar, all that he can do is to himself take thought and die for Caesar. And that were much he should, for he is given to sports, to wildness, and much company.
There is no fear in him. Let him not die, for he will live and laugh at this hereafter.
Peace, count the clock.
The clock hath stricken 3.
'Tis time to part.
But it is doubtful yet whether Caesar will come forth today or no, for he is superstitious grown of late. The unaccustomed terror of this night and the persuasion of his augurers may hold him from the capital today.
Never fear that. If he be so resolved, I can o'ersway him. For he loves to hear that men may be betrayed with flatterers. But when I tell him, he hates flatterers. He says, he does, being then thus flattered. Let me work, for I can give his humor the true bent, and I will bring him to the capital.
Nay, we will all of us be there to fetch him. The morning comes upon us. We'll leave you, Brutus, and friends, disperse yourselves. But all remember what you have said, and show yourselves true Romans.
Good friends, take care that you look fresh and merrily. Let not our looks put on our purposes. And so good morrow to you, everyone.
Brutus, my lord.
Portia, what mean you? Wherefore rise you now? It is not for your health thus to commit your weak condition to the raw cold morning.
Nor for yours neither. Ye have ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed. And yesternight at supper, you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing with your arms across. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further, then you scratched your head and too impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet I insisted, yet you answered not, but with an angry wafter of your hand, gave sign for me to leave you. So I did, fearing to strengthen that impatience which seemed too much enkindled, and withal hoping it was but an effect of humor, which sometime hath his hour with every man. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep, and could it work so much upon your shape as it hath much prevailed upon your condition? I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, and that is all.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means to come by it.
Why, so I do. Good Portia, go to bed.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical? To walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the dank morning? What? Is Brutus sick? And will he steal out of his wholesome bed to bear the vile contagion of the nights and tempt the roomy and unpurged air to add unto his sickness? No, my Brutus, you have some sick offense within your mind, which, by the rights and virtue of my place, I ought to know of. And on my knees, I charm you, by my once commended beauty, by all your vows of love, and that great vow which did incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me yourself, your half. Why, you are heavy, and what men tonight have had resort to you, for here are some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from darkness.
Kneel not, gentle Portia.
I should not need, if you were gentle Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it accepted I should know no secrets that appertain to you? Am I yourself, but as it were, in sort or limitation, to keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and talk to you sometimes? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure, if it be no more. Portia is Brutus's harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife, as dear to me as are the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If this were true, then should I know this secret? Tell me your counsels, I will not disclose them. I shall make strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound, here in the thigh. Can I bear that with patience and not my husband's secrets?
Oh, ye gods! Render me worthy of this noble wife. By and by my bosom shall partake the secrets of my heart.
Nor heaven nor earth have been at peace tonight. Thrice hath Calpurnia in her sleep cried out, Help, ho! They murder Caesar. Who's within?
My lord,
Go bid the priest do present sacrifice, and bring me their opinions of success.
I will, my lord. What mean you, Caesar? Think you to walk forth? You shall not stir out of your house today.
Caesar shall forth. The things that threaten me, there look but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they fright me. There is one within, besides the things that we have heard and seen, recounts most horrid sights seen by the watch. Fierce, fiery warriors fight upon the clouds, the noise of battle hurtles in the air. Oh, Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided, whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall go forth, for these predictions are to the world in general as to Caesar.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders that I yet have heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come, when it will come. What say the augurers?
They would not have you two stir forth today. Plucking the entrails of an offering forth, they could not find a heart within the beast.
The gods do this in shame of cowardice. Caesar should be a beast without a heart if he should stay at home today for fear. No, Caesar shall not. Danger knows full well that Caesar is more dangerous than he.
Alas, my lord, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in the house, and not your own. Well, send Mark Antony to the Senate house, and he shall say you are not well today. Let me, upon my knee, prevail in this.
Mark Antony shall say I am not well, and for thy humor I will stay at home. Here's our good Decius, she shall tell them so.
Caesar, all hail. Good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate House.
And you are come in very happy time to bear my greeting to the senators and tell them that I will not come today. Cannot is false, and that I dare not falser. I will not come today. Tell them so, Decius.
Say he is sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Have I, in conquest, stretched mine arm so far to be afeard to tell graybeards the truth? Decius, go tell them Caesar will not come.
Most mighty Caesar, might I know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so?
The cause is in my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know. Calpurnia here, my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight she saw my statue, which, like a fountain with 100 spouts, did run pure blood, and many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. And these does she apply for warnings and portents and evils imminent, and on her knee hath begged that I will stay at home today.
This dream is all misinterpreted. It was a vision, fair and fortunate. Your statue spouting blood from many pipes, in which so many smiling Romans bathed, signifies that from you great Rome shall suck reviving blood, and great men shall press for tinctures, stains, relics, and cognizance. This, by Calpurnia's dream, is signified.
And this way have you well expounded it.
I have, when you have heard what I can say. And know it now, the Senate have concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word you will not come, their minds may change. Besides, it were a mock apt to be rendered for someone to say, break up the Senate till another time, when Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams. If Caesar hide himself, shall they not whisper, lo, Caesar is afraid. Pardon me, Caesar, for it is my dear, dear love to your proceeding that bids me tell you this.
How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia? I am ashamed I did yield to them. Give me my cloak, for I will go. And look where Popilius has come to fetch me.
Good morrow, Caesar.
Welcome, Popilius. What, Brutus, are you stirred so early too? Good morrow, Casca. By heaven, Cinna, Caesar was ne'er so much your enemy as that same ague which hath made you ill. What is the clock?
Caesar, 'tis struck an 8.
I thank you for your pains and courtesy. See, Antony that revels long o' nights is notwithstanding up. Good morrow, Antony.
So to noble Caesar.
Bid them prepare within. I am to blame to be thus waited for. Now Cinna, now Metellus. What, Trebonius? I have an hour's talk in store for you. Remember that you call on me today. Be near me, that I may remember you.
Caesar, I will, and so near will I be that your best friends shall wish I had been further.
Good friends, go in and taste some wine with me, and we, like friends, will straightway go together.
Caesar, beware of Brutus, take heed of Cassius. Come not near Casca, have an eye to Cinna. Trust not Trebonius, Decius loves thee not. Thou hast wronged Metellus Cimber. There is but one mind in all of these, and it is bent against Caesar. If thou beest not immortal, look about you. If thou read this, O Caesar, thou mayest live. If not, the fates with traitors do contrive.
I prithee, child, run to the Senate house. Stay not to answer me, but get thee gone. Why dost thou stay?
To know my errand, madam.
I would have had thee there and here again, ere I can tell thee what thou shouldst do there. O constancy, be strong upon my side. Set a huge mountain between my heart and tongue. Art thou here yet?
Madam, what should I do? Run to the capital and nothing else? And so return to you, and nothing else?
Yes! Bring me word if thy lord look well, for he went sickly forth. And take good note what Caesar doth, what suitors press to him. Hark, child, what noise is that?
I hear none, madam.
Prithee, listen well. I heard a bustling rumor like a fray, and the wind brings it from the capital.
Sooth, madam, I hear nothing.
Come hither, fellow. Which way hast thou been?
At
at mine own house, good lady.
What is the clock?
About the 9th hour, lady.
Is Caesar yet gone to the capital?
Madam, not yet. I go to take my stand to see him pass on to the capital.
Thou hast some suit to Caesar, hast thou not?
That I have, lady. If it will please Caesar to be so good to Caesar as to hear me, I shall beseech him to befriend himself.
Why, knowest thou any harm is intended towards him?
None that I know will be, much that I fear may chance. Good morrow to you.
I must go in. Ay me, how weak a thing is my constancy today. O Brutus, the heavens speed thee in thine enterprise. Sure, Lucius heard me. Brutus hath a suit that Caesar will not grant. Oh, I grow faint. Run, Lucius, and commend me to my lord. Say I am merry, come to me again, and bring me word what he doth say to thee.
The Ides of March are come.
I, Caesar, but not God. Read this schedule.
Trebonius doth desire you to o'erread, at your best leisure, this her humble suit.
Oh, Caesar, read mine first, for mine's a suit that touches Caesar near. Read it, great Caesar.
What touches us ourselves shall be last served.
Delay not, Caesar. Read it instantly.
What, is the fellow mad?
Sarah, give place.
Urge you your petitions in the streets, like come to the capital.
I wish your enterprise today may thrive.
What enterprise, Popilius?
Fare you well.
What's up, Popilius Lena?
He wished today our enterprise might thrive. I fear our purpose is discovered.
Look how he makes to Caesar. Mark him.
Brutus, what shall be done?
Cassius, be constant. Popilius Lena speaks not of our purposes, for look, he smiles, and Caesar doth not change.
Trebonius knows her time, for look you, Brutus, she draws Mark Antony out of the way.
Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress?
Most high, most mighty, and most puissant Caesar, Metellus Cimber throws before thy seat a humble heart.
I must prevent thee, Cimber, from these couchings and lowly courtesies. Think not that Caesar bears such rebel blood that will be thawed from the true quality with that which melteth fools. I mean, sweet words, low crooked curtsies, and base spaniel fawning. Thy brother by decree is banished. If thou dost bend and pray and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way. No, Caesar doth not wrong, nor without cause will he be satisfied.
Is there no voice more worthy than my own, to sound so sweetly in great Caesar's ear for the repealing of my banished brother?
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring thee that Cimber's brother may have an immediate freedom of repeal.
What, Brutus?
Pardon, Caesar, Caesar pardon. As low as to thy foot doth Cassius fall to beg enfranchisement for Cimber's brother.
I could be well moved, if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me. But I am constant as the northern star, of whose true fixed and resting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. The skies are painted with unnumbered sparks. They are all fire, and every one doth shine. But there's but one in all doth hold his place. So in the world 'tis furnished well with men, and men are flesh and blood and apprehensive. Yet in the number I do know but one that unassailable holds on his rank, unshaked of motion, and that I am he. Let me a little show it, even in this, that I was constant. Cimber should be banished, and constant do remain to keep him so. O Caesar, hence wilt thou lift up Olympus?
Great Caesar.
Doth not Brutus bootless kneel?
Speak hence for me!
tu, Brute. Then fall Caesar.
Liberty, freedom, tyranny is dead. Go forth, proclaim, cry it about the streets.
Some to the common pulpits and cry out, liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement.
People and senators, be not affrighted. Fly not, stand still. Ambition's debt is paid.
Go to the pulpit, Brutus!
Where's Papilius?
Here, quite confounded with this mutiny.
Stand fast together, lest some friends of Caesar should chant.
Talk not of standing! Cicero, good cheer. There is no harm intended to your person, nor to no Roman else. So tell them all.
And leave us, both of you, lest that the people rushing on us might do you any mischief.
Do so, and let no one abide this deed but we the doers.
Where's Antony?
Fled to his house amazed. Men, wives, and children stare, cry out, and run as it were doomsday.
Fates, we will know your pleasures, that we shall die we know. 'Tis but the time, and drawing days out, that men stand upon.
Why, he that cuts off 20 years of life cuts off so many years of fearing death.
Grants that, and then is death a benefit. So are we Caesar's friends, that have abridged his time of fearing death. Come, Romans, come, and walk we forth even to the marketplace, and waving our red weapons o'er our heads, let's all cry peace, freedom, and liberty!
How many ages hence shall this our lofty scene be acted over, in state unborn and accents yet unknown?
How many times shall Caesar bleed in mine, no worthier than the dust?
So oft as that shall be, so often shall the not of us be called the men that gave their country liberty.
But here comes Mark Antony. I know that we shall have him well, it's a friend. Welcome, Mark Antony.
O mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank? If I myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour, nor no instrument of half that worth as those, your swords, made rich with the most noble blood of all this world. I do beseech ye, if you bear me hard, fulfill your pleasure. Live 1,000 years, I shall not find myself so apt to die. No place will please me so, no means of death, as here, by Caesar and by you cut off, the choice and master spirits of this age.
Oh, Antony, beg not your death of us. Though now we must appear bloody and cruel as by our hands, and this our present act you see we do. Yet see you but our hands, and this the bleeding business they have done. Our hearts you see not, they are pitiful. And pity to the general wrong of Rome, as fire drives out fire, so pity, pity, hath done this deed on Caesar. For your part, to you our swords have leaden points, Mark Antony. Our hearts of brothers' temper do receive you in with all kind love, good thoughts, and reverence.
Your voice shall be as strong as anyone's in the disposing of new dignities.
Only be patient, till we have appeased the multitude beside themselves with fear, and then we will deliver you the cause why I, that did strike Caesar when I loved him, have thus proceeded.
I doubt not of your wisdom. Let each man render me his bloody hand. First, Marcus Brutus will I shake with you. Next, Caius Cassius do I take your hand. Gentlefolk all, alas, what shall I say? My critic now stands on such slippery ground that one of two bad ways you must conceit me, either a coward or a flatterer. I did love thee, Caesar. Oh, 'tis true. If then thy spirit look upon us now, shall it not grieve thee dearer than thy death to see thy Antony making his peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes? Pardon me, Julius.
Mark Antony.
Pardon me, Caius Cassius. The enemies of Caesar shall say this. Then in a friend it is called modesty.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so, but what compact mean you to have with us? Will you be pricked in number of our friends, or shall we on and not depend on you?
Therefore I took your hand, but was indeed swayed from the point by looking down on Caesar. Friends am I with you all, and love you all upon this hope, that you shall give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Or else were this a savage spectacle? Your reasons are so full of good regard, that were you, Antony, the son of Caesar, you should be satisfied.
That's all I seek. And moreover, suitor, that I may produce his body to the marketplace, and in the pulpit, as becomes a friend, speak in the order of his funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word with you. You know not what you do. Do not consent that Antony speak in his funeral. Know you how much the people may be moved by that which he will utter?
By your pardon, I will myself into the pulpit first, and show the reason of our Caesar's death. What Antony shall speak, I will say he speaks by leave and by permission, and that we are contented. Caesar shall have all true rights and lawful ceremonies. It shall advantage more than do us wrong.
I know not what may fall. I like it not.
Mark Antony, here, take you Caesar's body. You shall not, in your funeral speech, blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar, and say you do it by permission. Else shall you not have any hand at all about his funeral. And you shall speak in the same pulpit whereto I am going, once my speech is ended.
Be it so. I do desire no more.
Prepare the body then, and follow us.
Oh, pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers! Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in the tide of times. Woe to the hands that shed this costly blood! Over thy wounds do I prophesy. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall cumber all the parts of Italy. Blood and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful objects so familiar, that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants quartered by the hands of war, and Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge, with Ate by his side, come hot from hell, shall in these confines, in a monarch's voice, cry havoc, and let slip the dogs of war. You serve Octavius Caesar, do you not?
I do, Mark Antony.
Caesar did right for him to come to Rome.
He did receive his letters and bid me to say by word of mouth. Oh, Caesar.
Thy heart is big. Is thy master coming?
He lies tonight within 7 leagues of Rome.
Post back to him, and tell him what hath chanced. Here is a mourning Rome, a dangerous Rome. No Rome of safety for Octavius yet. Hie hence and tell him so. Yet, stay a while. Thou shalt not back till I have borne this corpse to the marketplace. There shall I try, in my oration, how the people take the cruel issue of these bloody men, according to the which thou shalt discourse back to young Octavius of the state of things. Lend me your hand.
dedication to the last. Romans, countrymen, and good friends, hear me for my cause and be silent that you may hear. Believe me for mine honor and have respect to mine honor that you may believe. Censure me in your wisdom and awake your senses that you may the better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living to die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead to live all free men? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There's tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base that would be a bondman?
Not I.
If any, speak. For him have I offended. Who is here so rude that would not be a Roman? If any, speak. For him have I offended. Who is here so vile that will not love his country?
None.
If any, speak. For him have I offended. I pause for a reply. Then none have I offended. The question of his death is enrolled in the Capitol. His glory is not extenuated wherein he was worthy, nor his offenses enforced for which he suffered death. Here comes his body, mourned by Mark Antony, who though he had no hand in his death, shall receive the benefit of his dying, a place in the commonwealth, as which of you shall not? With this I depart, that as I slew my best friend for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself when it shall please my country to need my death. Countrymen, let me depart alone, and for my sake, stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse, and grace his speech tending to Caesar's glories, which Antony by our permission is allowed to make. I do entreat you, not a man depart, save I alone, till Antony have spoke.
For Brutus' sake, I'm beholding to you.
Let's say he of Brutus.
For best he speak no harm of Brutus here.
You gentle Romans, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man. So are they all honorable men. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me, but Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? Well, the poor hath cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. But Brutus says he was ambitious. and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see on that looper call. I did thrice present him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? No. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? Judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me. But yesterday, the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Yeah. Now lies he there, and none so poor to do him reverence. Oh, masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong, and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men. I will not wrong the honorable men. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you, than I will wrong such honorable men. But here is a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his study. 'Tis his will. Let the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read. And they would go kiss dead Caesar's wounds and dip their napkins in his sacred blood, yea, beg a hair of him for memory.
We'll hear the will. Read it.
Have patience, friends. I must not read the will.
Why not?
You are not wood, you are not stones, but men. Yes. And being men, hearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you. It will make you mad.
Read the will. We'll hear it, Antony. You shall read us the will. Caesar's will.
I have o'ershot myself to tell you of it. I fear I wrong the honorable men.
They were traitors, honorable men.
Villains, murderers, the will. Read the will.
You will compel me then to read the will?
Yes!
If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle. I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. 'Twas on a summer's evening in his tent. That day he overcame the Nervii. Look you here. Ran Cassius' dagger through. See what a rent the envious Casca made? Through this, the well-beloved Brutus stabbed. And Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, O you gods, how Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all. For when the noble Caesar saw him stab, ingratitude more strong than traitor's arms quite vanquished him, then burst his mighty heart, and muffling up his face, great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall was there, my countrymen. Then I, and you, and all of us fell, whilst bloody treason flourished over us. Kind souls, what? Weep you, when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded. Look you here! Here's himself, marred as you see with traitors.
Oh, piteous spectacle! Noble Caesar!
Oh, traitors, villains! Oh, most bloody sight, we will be revenged.
Revenge is out! Seek, burn, fire, kill, slay! Let not the traitor live!
Stay, countrymen!
Caesar, hear the noble Antony.
We will hear him! We'll follow him! We'll die with him!
Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable. What private griefs they have, alas, I know not that made them do it. They are wise and honorable, and will no doubt with reasons answer you. I come not to steal away your hearts. I am no orator, as Brutus is, but as you know me all, a plain, blunt man that love my friend, and that they know full well that gave me public leave to speak of him. For I have neither writ, nor word, nor worth to stir men's blood. I only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourselves do know. Show you sweet Caesar's wounds. Poor dumb mouths, and bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony that would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar, that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny. Yet hear me, countrymen, yet hear me speak. Alas, you go to do you know not what. Wherein hath Caesar thus deserved your loves? Alas, you know not. I must tell you then. You forgot the will I told you of. Here is Caesar's will. To every Roman citizen he gives, to every several man, 75 drachmas. Hear me with patience. Moreover, he hath left you all his walks, his private arbors, his new planted orchards, common pleasures, dear heirs forever, to walk abroad and recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar, when comes such another?
Never! Come, away! Fire the traitors' houses!
Now let it work. Mischief, take thou what course thou wilt. How now, fellow?
Sir Octavius has already come to Rome.
Where is he?
He and Lepidus are at Caesar's house.
And thither will I straight to visit him. He comes upon a wish. Fortune is merry, and in this mood will give us anything.
It's now reported Brutus and Cassius are rid the gates of Rome like madmen.
Belike they had some notice of the people, how I had moved them. Bring me to Octavius.
I dreamt tonight that I did feast with Caesar. I have no will to wander forth of doors, yet something leads me forth. What is your name?
Whither are you going?
Where do you dwell?
Are you a married man or a bachelor?
Answer each of us directly.
Aye, and briefly.
Aye, and wisely. Aye, and truly, you were best.
What is my name? Whither am I going? Where do I dwell? Am I a married man or a bachelor? Then to answer everyone, directly and briefly, wisely and truly, wisely I say I am a bachelor.
That's as much as to say they are fools that marry. You'll bear me a bang for that, I fear. Proceed directly.
Directly I am going to Caesar's funeral.
As a friend?
friend or an enemy?
As a friend!
That matter's answered directly.
For your dwelling, briefly.
Briefly, I dwell by the capital.
Your name, sir, truly.
Truly, my name is Cinna.
Tear him to pieces! He is a conspirator!
I am Cinna the poet! I am Cinna the poet!
Terror's bad verses! Terror's
I am not Cinna the conspirator!
'Tis no matter. His name's Cinna.
Tear him! Come, brands, ho, firebrands! To Brutus, to Cassius! Burn all!
This many then shall die. Their names are pricked.
Your brother too must die. Consent to you, Lepidus.
I do consent,
Prick him down, Antony.
upon condition that Cicero shall not live, who is your esteemed cousin, Mark Antony.
She shall not live. Look, with a mark I damn her. But Lepidus, go you to Caesar's house. Fetch the will hither. We shall determine how to cut off some charge and legacies.
What? Shall I find you here?
Or here at the capital.
This is a slight, unmeritable man, well fit to be sent on errands. Is it fit, the threefold world divided, he should stand one of the three to share it?
So you thought him, and took his voice who should be pricked to die in our black sentence and prescription.
Octavius, I've seen more days than you. And though we lay these honors on this man, to ease ourselves of diverse, slanderous loads, he shall but bear them, as the ass bears gold. To groan and sweat under the business, either led or driven where we point the way, and take he our treasure where we will. Take we down his load, and point him off as to the empty ass, to shake his ears and graze in the commons.
You may do your will, but he's a tried and valiant soldier.
So is my horse, Octavius, and for that I do appoint him store of provender. A barren spirit. Do not speak of him but as a property. Now, Octavius, listen to great things. Brutus and Cassius are levying powers. Therefore, we must straight make haste. Let our alliance be combined, our best friends made, our means stretched, and let us go presently sit in council. How covert matters may be best disclosed, and open perils sure stand.
Let us do so, for we are at the stake and they about with many enemies, and some that smile have in their hearts I fear millions of mischiefs.
What now, Popilius? Is Cassius near?
He's at hand.
A word, Popilius. How he received you, let me be resolved.
With courtesy and respect enough, but not with such free and friendly conference as he hath used of old.
Thou hast described a hot friend cooling. Ever note, Popilius, when love begins to sicken and decay, it useth an enforced ceremony. There are no tricks, in plain and simple faith.
Most noble brother, you have done me wrong.
Judge me, you gods. Wrong I mine enemies? And if not so, how should I wrong a brother?
Brutus, this sober form of yours hides wrongs, and when you do them...
Cassius, be content. Speak your grief softly.
That's what
I do know you well. Before the eyes of both our armies here, which should receive nothing but love from us, let us not wrangle. Bid them move away. Then in my tent, Cassius, enlarge your griefs, and I will give you audience.
Decius, bid our commanders lead their charges off a little from this ground.
Popilius, do you the like, and let no man come to our tents till we have done our conference.
That you have wronged me doth appear in this. You have condemned and noted Lucius Pella for taking bribes here of the Sardians, where in my letters, praying on his side because I knew the man was slighted off.
You wronged yourself to write in such a case.
In such a time as this, it is not meet that every slight offense should bear a comment.
Let me tell you, Cassius, you yourself are much condemned to have an itching palm, to sell and march your offices for gold to undeserving.
An itching palm? You know that you are Brutus that speaks this, or by the gods, this speech were else your last.
The name of Cassius honors this corruption, and chastisement doth therefore hide his head.
Chastisement?
Remember March? The Ides of March, remember? Did not great Julius bleed for justice's sake? One villain touched his body that did stab, and not for justice? What? Shall one of us, that struck the foremost man of all this world, but for supporting robbers, shall we now contaminate our fingers with base bribes, and sell the mighty space of our large honors for so much trash as may be grasped thus? I had rather be a dog and bay the moon than such a Roman.
Brutus, bait not me. I'll not endure it. You forget yourself to hedge me in. I am a soldier, older in practice, abler than yourself to make conditions.
Go to, you are not, Cassius.
I am.
I say you are not.
Urge me no more, I shall forget myself. Have mind upon your health, tempt me no farther.
Away, slight man.
Is't possible?
Hear me, for I will speak. Must I give way and room to your rash choler? Shall I be frightened when a madman stares?
Oh, ye gods, must I endure all this?
All this? Aye, more. Fret till your proud heart break. Go show your slaves how choleric you are, and make your bondmen tremble. Must I budge? Must I observe you? Must I stand and crouch under your testy humor? By the gods, you shall digest the venom of your spleen, though it do split you. For from this day forth, I'll use you for my mirth, yea, for my laughter when you are waspish.
Is it come to this?
You say you are a better soldier. Let it appear so. Make your vaunting true, and it shall please me well. For mine own part, I should be glad to learn of noble men.
You wrong me every way. You wrong me, Brutus. I said an elder soldier, not a better. Did I say better?
If you did, I care not.
When Caesar lived, he durst not thus have moved me.
Peace. Peace, you durst not so have tempted him.
I durst not.
No.
What, durst not tempt him?
For your life you durst not.
Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that I shall be sorry for.
You have done that you should be sorry for. There is no terror, Cassius, in your threats, for I'm armed so strong in honesty that they pass by me as the idle wind, which I respect not. I did send to you for certain sums of gold, which you denied me, for I can raise no money by vile means. By heaven, I'd rather coin my heart and drop my blood for drachmas than to wring from the hard hands of peasants their vile trash by an indirection. I did send to you for gold to pay my legions, which you denied me. Was that done like Cassius? Should I have answered Caius Cassius so? When Marcus Brutus grows so covetous, be ready, gods, with all your thunderbolts, dash them to pieces!
I denied you not.
You did!
I did not. He was but a fool that brought my answer back. Brutus hath rived my heart. A friend should bear his friend's infirmities, yet Brutus makes mine greater than they are.
I do not, till you practice them on me.
You love me not.
I do not like your faults.
A friendly eye can never see such faults.
A flatterer's would not, though they do appear as huge as high Olympus.
Come, Antony, and young Octavius, come. Avenge yourselves alone on Cassius, for Cassius is aweary of the world. Hated by one he loves, all his faults observed, to cast into my teeth. Oh, I could weep my spirit from mine eyes. There is my dagger. I that denied thee gold will give my heart. Strike as thou didst at Caesar, for I know, when thou didst hate him worse, thou lovest him better than ever thou lovest Cassius.
Sheath your dagger. Be angry when you will, it shall have scope. Do what you will. Dishonor shall be humor. O Cassius, you are yoked with a lamb that carries anger as the flint bears fire. Who much enforced shows a hasty spark, and straight is cold again.
Hath Cassius lived to be but mirth and laughter to his Brutus, when grief and blood ill-tempered vexed him?
When I said that, I was ill-tempered too.
Do you confess so much? Give me your hand.
Let me go in to see the generals. There is some grudge between them. 'Tis not meet they be alone.
Shall not come to them.
How now? What's the matter?
For shame, you generals! What do you mean? Love and be friends as two men, such men should be. For I have seen more years, I'm sure, than ye.
How vilely doth the cynic ride.
Get you hence, sirrah, saucy fellow, hence!
Bear with him, Brutus, 'tis his fashion.
I'll know his humor when he knows his time. What should the wars do with these jigging fools? Companion heads!
Away, away, be gone! I did not think you could have been so angry.
Oh, Cassius, I am sick of many griefs.
Of your philosophy you make no use if you give place to accidental evils.
No man bears sorrow better. Portia is dead.
Huh? Portia?
She is dead.
How escaped I killing when I crossed thee so? Oh, insupportable and touching loss. Upon what sickness?
Impatient of my absence, and grief the young Octavius with Mark Antony have made themselves so strong, for with her death that tidings came. With this she fell distract, and her attendants absent, swallowed fire.
And died so.
Even so.
O ye immortal gods.
Speak no more of her. And this, I bury all unkindness, Cassius.
My heart is thirsty for that noble pledge.
My lord.
Come in, Drabonis. Welcome, good Metellus. Now sit we close about this lantern here and call in question our necessities.
Portia, art thou gone?
No more, I pray you. My friends, I have here received letters. The young Octavius with Mark Antony come down upon us with a mighty power, bending their expedition toward Philippi.
Myself have letters of the self-same tenure,
With what addition?
backed by prescription and bills of outquiry. Octavius, Antony, and Lepidus have put to death 100 senators, Cicero being one,
Cicero one.
by that same prescription.
And Cinna is dead.
Well, to our work alive. What do you think of marching to Philippi presently?
I do not think it good.
Your reason?
This it is. 'Tis better that the enemy seek us. So shall he waste his means, weary his soldiers, doing himself offense, whilst we, lying still, are full of rest, defense, and nimbleness.
Good reasons must of force give place to better. The people betwixt Philippi and this ground do stand but in a forced affection, for they have grudged us contribution. The enemy, marching along by them, shall make a fuller number up, come on refreshed, new added, and encouraged, from which advantage we shall cut him off. If at Philippi we do meet him there, these people at our back,
Hear me, good brother.
under your pardon, you must know beside that we have tried the utmost of our friends. Our legions are brimful, our cause is ripe. The enemy increaseth every day. We at the height are ready to decline. There is a tide in the affairs of men, which taken at the flood leads on to fortune. Amid it, all the voyage of their life is bound in shallows and in miseries. On such a full sea are we now afloat, and we must take the current when it serves, or lose our ventures.
Then, with your will, go on. We'll along ourselves and meet them at Philippi.
There's no more to say?
No more. Good night. Early tomorrow will we rise and hence.
Farewell, Metellus. Good night, Trebonus.
Good night, Lord Brutus.
Cassius.
Cassius.
Oh, my dear brother, this was an ill beginning of the night. Never comes such division between our souls. Let it not, Brutus.
Everything is well.
Good night, my lord.
Good night, good brother. Lucius!
I'm here, sir.
What, thou speakst drowsily? Poor knave, I blame thee not. Thou art o'erwatched. Call Varus. I'll have her sleep on cushions in my tent.
Varus! Calls my lord.
I pray you, lie in my tent here and sleep. It may be I shall raise you by and by on business to my brother Cassius.
So please you, I will stand and watch your pleasure.
I will not have it so. Lie down, good soldier. It may be I shall otherwise bethink me. Look here, Lucius. Here's the book I sought for, so I put it in the pocket of my pack.
I was sure your lordship did not give it to me.
Bear with me, good youth. I'm much forgetful. Canst thou hold up thy heavy eyes a while and touch thy instrument a strain or two?
I, my lord, and to please you.
I trouble thee too much.
It is my duty, sir.
I shall not urge thy duty past thy might. I know young bloods look for a time of rest.
I've slept, my lord, already.
It was well done, and thou shalt sleep again. I will not hold thee long. If I live, I will be good to thee.
Every night when the sun goes in, every night when the sun goes in, every night when the sun goes in, I hang down my head and mournful cry. True love, don't weep. True love, don't mourn. True love, don't weep. True love, don't mourn. True love, don't weep. True love, don't mourn. I'm going away to Marble Town. I wish to the Lord that train would come. I wish to the Lord that train would come. I wish to the Lord that train would come and take me back where I come from.
This was a sleepy too. O murderous slumber, layest thou thy leaden mace upon this youth that sings thee music? Gentle knave, good night. I will not do thee so much wrong to wake thee. Let me see. Is not the leaf turned down where I left reading? Ah, here it is, I think. So, how ill this taper burns. Ah! Who comes here? I think it is the weakness of mine eyes that shapes this monstrous apparition. Art thou anything? Speak to me what thou art.
Thy evil spirit, Brutus?
Why comest thou?
To tell thee thou shalt see me at Philippi.
Why, I shall see thee again?
Aye, at Philippi.
Well, I will see thee at Philippi then. Ill spirit, I would hold more talk with thee. Lucius, awake.
My lord,
Didst thou dream, Lucius, that thou so criedst out?
my lord, I did not know that I did cry.
Yes, that thou didst. Didst thou see anything?
Nothing, my lord.
Sleep again, Lucius. Sirrah, Varus, thou, awake.
Calls my lord?
Why did you so cry out, sir, in your sleep?
Did I, my lord?
I saw you anything?
No, my lord, I saw nothing.
Go and commend me to my brother Cassius. Bid him set on his powers betimes before, and we will follow.
Shall be done, my lord.
Antony, our hopes are answered. You said the enemy would not come down to keep the hills and upper regions. It proves not so. Their battles are at hand. They mean to warn us at Philippi here, answering before we do demand of them.
Tut, I am in their bosoms, and I know wherefore they do it. They could be content to visit other places, and come down with fearful bravery, thinking by this face, to fasten in our thoughts they have courage. But 'tis not so.
They stand and would have parley.
Stand fast, Trebonius, we must out and talk.
Mark Antony, shall we give sign of battle?
No, Caesar. We shall answer on their charge. Make forth. The generals would have some words.
Words before blows, is it so, countrymen?
Not that we love words better, as you do.
Good words are better than bad strokes, Octavius.
In your bad strokes, Brutus, you give good words. Witness the hole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, "Long live, hail Caesar." You showed your teeth like apes, and fawned like hounds, and bowed like bondmen kissing Caesar's feet, whilst damned Casca, like a cur behind, struck Caesar in the neck. Oh, you flatterers!
Flatterers! Now, Brutus, thank yourself. This tongue had not offended so today if Cassius might have ruled.
Look, I draw sword against conspirators. When think you that the sword goes up again? Never till Caesar's 33 wounds be well avenged, or till another Caesar have added slaughter to the sword of traitors.
Caesar, thou canst not die by traitors' hands unless thou bringst them with thee.
So I hope. I was not born to die on Brutus' sword.
Oh, if thou wert the noblest of thy strain. Young man, thou couldst not die more honorable.
A peevish schoolboy, worthless of such honor, joined with a masker and a reveler.
Hold Cassius still!
Come, Antony, away! Defiance! Traitors! Hurl we in your teeth. If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, when you have stomachs.
The storm is up and all is on hazard. Decius, this is my birthday. As this very day was Cassius born. Give me thy hand, Decius. Be thou my witness that against my will, as Pompey was, am I compelled to set upon one battle all our liberties. And now, most noble Brutus, let's reason with the worst that may befall. If we do lose this battle, then is this the very last time we shall speak together? What are you then determined to do?
Attacked by the rule of my philosophy, for I do find it cowardly and vile for fear of what might fall. So to prevent the time of life, arming myself with patience to stay the providence of some high powers that govern us below.
Then if we lose this battle, you are contented to be led in triumph through the streets of Rome.
No, Cassius, no. Think not thou, noble Roman, that ever Brutus will go bound to Rome. He bears too great a mind. But the same day must end that work the Ides of March begun. And whether we shall meet again, I know not. Therefore our everlasting farewell take, forever and forever. Farewell, Cassius. If we meet again, why we shall smile. If not, why then this parting was well made.
Forever and forever, farewell, Brutus. If we do meet again, we'll smile indeed. If not, 'tis true, this parting was well made.
Why then lead on. Oh, that a man might know the end of this day's business ere it come. But it sufficeth that the day will end, and then the end is known.
Charge!
Run! Run, good Casca! Run and give these bills unto my legions on the other side. Let them set on at once, for I perceive but cold demeanor in Octavia's wing. In sudden push gives them the overthrow. Run! Run, Casca! Let them all come down!
Oh, Cassius! Brutus gave the word too early, who, having
was far enough. Look, Trebonius. Are those my tents where I perceive the fire?
They are, my lord.
Decius, if thou lovest me, mount thou my horse and hide thy spurs in him, till he hath brought thee up to yonder troops, and hear again that I may rest assured whether yon troops are friend or enemy.
I will be here again, even with a thought.
Go, Trebonius. Get higher on that hill, my sight was ever thick. Regard Decius, and tell me what thou knowest about the field.
This day I breathed first. Time has come round, and where I did begin, there shall I end. My life has run his compass. What news?
Decius is enclosed round about, yet she spurs on. Now they are almost on her. She's taken. Hark, they shout for joy.
Trebonius!
O coward that I am to live so long, to see my best friends ta'en before my face. Caesar, thou art revenged, even with the sword that killed thee.
Decius, for Octavius is overthrown by noble Brutus' power, as Cassius' legions are by Antony.
These tidings will well comfort Cassius.
Is not that he?
No, this was he, Casca. But Cassius is no more. Mistrust of my success hath done this deed.
Mistrust of good success have done this deed.
Hide Brutus, Casca. Why didst thou send me forth, brave Cassius? Did I not meet thy friends? Didst thou not hear their shouts? Alas, thou hast misconstrued everything.
O Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet. Thy spirit walks abroad and turns our swords in our own proper entrails. Friends, I owe more tears to this dead man than you shall see me pay. I shall find time, Cassius. I shall find time. Come therefore, and to Tharsis send his body. His funeral shall not be in our camp, lest it discomfort us. Let us to the field. 'Tis 3 o'clock, and Romans yet ere night. We shall try fortune in a second fight!
Yeah!
Yet countrymen, oh yet hold up your hands!
I am Brutus, Marcus Brutus I, Brutus, my country's friend. Know me for Brutus.
Yield, or thou diest.
Only I yield to die. Kill Brutus and be honored in his death.
We must not, a noble prisoner.
We've captured Brutus! We've captured Brutus, my lord!
Where is he?
Safe, Antony. Brutus is safe enough. I dare assure thee that no enemy shall ever find alive the noble Brutus. The gods defend him from so great a shame. When you do find him, or alive, or dead, he'll be found like Brutus, like himself.
This is not Brutus, friends. But I assure you, a prize no less in worth. Keep this man safe. Treat him with all kindness. I'd rather have such men my friends than my enemies. Go on, see where Brutus be, alive or dead.
Come, poor remains and friends. Rest on this rock.
Our ensign showed the torchlight, but, dear gods, he came not back again. He is ordained, or slain.
Sit thee down, Casca. Slaying is the word. It is a deed in fashion. Hark thee, Casca.
What, I, my friend? No, not for all the world.
Peace then, no words.
I'd rather kill myself.
Come hither, good Decius. List a word.
What says my lord?
Why this, Decius. The ghost of Caesar hath appeared to me several times by night. At Sardis once, and this last night here in Philippi fields. I know my hour has come.
Not so, my lord.
Nay, I'm sure it is, Decius. Thou seest the world, Decius, how it goes. The enemies have beat us to the pit. It is more worthy to leap in ourselves than tarry till they push us. Good Decius, thou knowest that we two went to school together. Even for that, our love of old, I prithee, hold thou my sword hilst, whilst I run on it.
That's not an office for a friend, my lord.
Fly, fly, my friend, there is no tarrying here.
Farewell to you, and you, Decius. My heart doth joy that yet in all my life I found no friend, but thou wast true to me. I shall have glory by this losing day. More than Octavius and Mark Antony, by whose vile conquest shall attain unto.
Fly, good Brutus, fly!
Hence I will follow. Varus, thou hast been all this while asleep. Thou art a soldier of a good respect. Thy life hath had some snatch of honor in it. Hold then my sword, and turn away thy face, while I do run on it. Wilt thou, Varus?
Give me your hand first. Fare you well, my lord.
Farewell, good Varus. O Caesar, now be still. I kill not thee with half so good a will.
What soldier's that?
Brutus's. Varus, where's our general? Free from the bondage you are in, Popilius. The conquerors can but make a fire of him. For Brutus only overcame himself, and no one else hath honor by his death.
This was the most noble Roman of them all. All the conspirators, save only he, did that they did in envy of great Caesar. He only, in a general honest thought and common good to all, made one of them. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man.
According to his virtue, let us use him with all respect in rites of burial. All that served Brutus may now swear to me. So call the field to rest and let's away, to part the glories of this happy day.